For legendary pitcher Chief Bender, baseball was more than a sport. It was a battleground for dignity and equality. As one of the first Native American players in Major League Baseball, Bender faced insults and racial prejudice from fans and opponents. Yet he overcame these to enter the Baseball Hall of Fame as one of its greatest pitchers. Charles Albert Bender was born on May 5, 1884, in Crow Wing County, Minnesota. His father was German, and his mother was part Chippewa, making Bender a member of the White Earth Nation of the Minnesota Chippewa tribe. As a child, he was called Mandawescence, which roughly translated as Little Spirit Animal. He attended Carlisle Indian Industrial School in Pennsylvania, which is known for producing legendary athletes like Jim Thorpe. At Carlisle, Bender refined his baseball skills, developing the foundation for his pitching success. On April 20th, 1903, 19-year-old Bender debuted for the Philadelphia Athletics. For the season, he had a 17-14 record and hit 25 batters, which led the league. In 1905, he had an 18-11 record and led Philadelphia to the World Series. Unfortunately for the Athletics, they faced arguably the greatest pitching performance in World Series history when Christy Mathewson of the Giants pitched 3 complete game shutouts. Bender pitched well, however, getting a 1-1 record with an ERA of 1.06. Between 1906 to 1909, the Athletics didn't win the pennant, though they placed second twice. During that span, Bender had an accumulated 15.3 WAR, a 57-35 record, 8 saves, 517 strikeouts, and a 2.02 ERA. 1910 was a marquee season for Bender. In May, he pitched a no-hitter against the Cleveland Naps. He also became a 20-game winner for the first time in his career. He had a 23-5 record and an ERA of 1.58. More importantly, he led the Athletics back to the World Series. This time, they wouldn't be denied as Philadelphia won the series 4-1. Bender had a 1-1 win-loss record and a 1.93 ERA. The following season, he had a 17-5 record with a 2.16 ERA. The Athletics also returned to the World Series, and Bender put on a performance for the ages. He tied Mathewson's record with 3 complete games in the World Series. Bender lost Game 1 to Mathewson, but got his revenge by winning Game 4. He clinched the series in Game 6. Bender had a 2-1 record with 3 complete games and a 1.04 ERA. He also had 20 strikeouts. In 1912, the team suspended Bender for parts of the season for alcohol abuse. Still, Bender went 13-8, but the Athletics failed to win the pennant. His next contract had a clause that said he had to avoid alcohol to earn his full salary. Bender responded by being a 20-game winner again. He had a 21-10 record, a 2.21 ERA, and a league-leading 13 saves. Bender also led Philadelphia to another World Series win against the New York Giants. He went 2-0 with 2 complete games and a 4.00 ERA. The Athletics won 4-1. The following year, Bender led the Athletics to a second consecutive pennant, the team's 4th in the past 5 years. He had a 17-3 record and a 2.16 ERA. Unfortunately for the Athletics, they were swept by the Boston Braves. Bender had his worst performance in a World Series. As the Philadelphia's ace, he pitched Game 1. But Bender gave up 6 runs and was replaced in the 6th inning. It was the only World Series game in Bender's career that he did not complete. Bender had a 0-1 record and a 10.13 ERA. It was also his last appearance in the World Series. In 10 games in 5 World Series, Bender had a 6.4 record, a 2.44 ERA, and 59 strikeouts. He also completed 9 of the 10 games he started. In 1915, he was enticed with a higher salary and moved to the Baltimore Terrapins of the new Federal League. Bender had the worst year of his career at that point. He had a 4.16 record, a 3.99 ERA, and a negative 0.7 WAR. For the final 2 years of his Major League career, he returned to Philadelphia, but with the Phillies and not the Athletics. Over these 2 years, he had a 15-9 record, 2.75 ERA, 86 strikeouts, and 5 saves. He effectively ended his Major League career after the 1917 season. For his career, Bender had a 48.0 WAR, a 212-127 record, a 2.46 ERA, 1,711 strikeouts, 34 saves, and a whip of 1.113. As a hitter, he batted .212 with 40 doubles, 30 triples, 6 home runs, and 116 RBIs. From 1919 to 1924, he pitched in the minor leagues for the Richmond Colts, the New Haven Indians, the Reading Aces, the Baltimore Orioles, and the New Haven Profs. In 1924, he became manager of the baseball team of the United States Naval Academy. While managing the academy, he returned to the majors as a coach of the Chicago White Sox. He pitched 1 inning for Chicago and allowed 2 runs. He later returned to the Athletics, where he worked the rest of his life as a scout, minor league manager, and coach. Bender was regarded as a cerebral player. Contemporaries such as Ty Cobb attest to his intelligence as a player. His instincts were so good that some teams believed he was stealing signs. Bender was also an innovator. He is believed to be the inventor and also the first pitcher to use the nickel curve. This later became known as the slider. Chief Bender was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1953. He died on May 22, 1954, just shortly before the induction ceremony. He was 70. Thank you for watching. Can you name another Native American athlete who can compare to Chief Bender? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. It helps immensely.